African folktale channels are still blowing up right now on YouTube. Some are pulling in millions of views every single month. But here is the truth: if your characters keep changing from scene to scene, it will be hard for your stories to stand out. I'm going to show you exactly how to keep your characters consistent so your audience instantly connects with them. I'll be using two free powerful AI tools to do this, and trust me, the second one will blow your mind. I'm also going to share a bonus hack that will help you create and monetize your African folktale channels more faster, but you will only get it if you stick around to the end of this video. Just in case you are tuning in for the first time, hi bestie, my name is DoliveB. You're welcome here. If you love what you're seeing and you would love to see more of this, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on any of my videos. Like and share this video and drop any questions you have in the comment section below.
A long time ago, in a small Yoruba village called Ipetu, there lived a young couple named Ade and Keji. They loved each other more than the moon loves the night sky. Their marriage was full of laughter, music, and hard work. Ade was a skilled farmer. His yam barn was always full. Keji was known for her beauty and kindness. Her pots of soup always smelled so good that even neighbors passing by would stop to greet her. But there was one thing missing from their lives: a child. They had been married for 8 long years, yet the compound remained silent, without the cry or laughter of a baby.
Let's get into it. The first step is to write your story. You can write your own story yourself, or you can use AI tool like ChatGPT to write your story. So what you just do is, if you want to write your story using the help of AI tool, head over to ChatGPT like I did, and this is what I told ChatGPT: help me write an interesting African folktale story about a young Yoruba couple who could not bear a child after being married for 8 years. I am giving ChatGPT an idea of the story I want. If you don't have any story idea or you're just starting, I have a detailed video on how you can create African folktales right from the beginning till the end. I will not go into much details in this particular video because I already have that video. So I'll put the link right here so you can watch that if you don't have any idea on how to write African folktale stories. This is the idea I gave ChatGPT: help me write an interesting folktale story about a young Yoruba couple who could not bear a child after being married for 8 years. Make the story end in a sad way, about 10 minutes long. Make it with suspense that no one will be able to tell the end of the story from the beginning. Please write in simple English such that a 9-year-old can understand. So as you can see, ChatGPT responded with the 10-minute story. We need to confirm if it is actually 10 minutes, but this is the story he gave me and I went through it. I love it. The title of the story is The Child of the River, a long time ago in a small Yoruba village called Ipetu. So that is the story ChatGPT gave me, as you can see. So once you have your story, the next step, generate image prompts for each scene. To make it easier, a tip is you break your story into small, clear scenes. This will make your image prompts easier to create. So you will say, break this story. I put the title of the story. You can just put the title of the story into small, clear scenes to make the image generation easy to create. I am creating consistent characters, and then you send. Now that we have the scenes broken down into bits, we'll move on to the image generation proper. And to generate the images for this story, we are going to give ChatGPT this prompt: give me prompt to generate images for each scene of the story. Include the age, hairstyle, dressing code, facial structure for consistency. Start with a realistic image of, I would advise you put that part. Start with a realistic image just to let ChatGPT know that you want the image to be as realistic as much as possible, and then you send. As you can see, you will notice that it started with the character consistency guide. We have Ade as the husband, age 36. The hairstyle, short, neatly trimmed hair, and that. Facial structure, oval face, and that. Clothing, simple, cream, boba, and shokoto, because this is actually traditional Yoruba attire. Leather sandals. We have Morenike, the wife. The age is this. The hairstyle, facial structure, clothing, and then the elder. We also have the river goddess. So for this story of mine, we have 4 main characters, and it has given us the consistency guide for each of the characters. Now, After that, ChatGPT gave us the scene by scene prompt. Scene 1 is a village life and couple's introduction, and it gave us this as the prompt to generate the image. We have this prompt for scene 1. We have the next prompt, which is for scene 2, for scene 3, and like that. And now we'll move up over to the first image generating tool I want to show you. We're going to be using this prompt to generate the images on the two image generating tool I want to show you. The first AI tool I'll be using is the ImageFX, Google ImageFX. So just use this link and then you click on Launch ImageFX, and this is what you're going to see. In one of my videos on how to create African folktales, I showed you how to generate AI images with the Microsoft Bing image tool. This seemed to be a better tool, and if you've not started using this tool, I will encourage you to do so. This is a very good tool to generate images. And now we are talking about consistent characters. Go back to ChatGPT and copy the first prompt that it gives you for scene 1. This is mine. I copied the prompt and I come to ImageFX and I paste it right here. Before you click on create, just come down to this settings part and make sure that it's on seed. Okay, this is actually locked. And then we have the model as best quality. Then the aspect ratio, we have it at landscape. If you are using it for YouTube videos, then put it on landscape. If you want to create videos for TikTok, Instagram Reels, or Facebook Reels, then you can use portraits 9:16. So we'll be using landscape, and then once you're done with that, you go back to your prompt side and you click on create. We are going to wait for a few seconds for this to be generated. As at the time of this recording, it is totally free. If you encounter any issue, please write them in the comment section. We have 4 image generation. If you look at this part, we have 4 image generations from this particular prompt. And now let's take a look at this. You can see the guy and the lady dressed in Yoruba attire. If we move to the next one, you can see the girl or the lady and the guy, they look alike. Can you see that? Can you see that they look alike? They have the same hairdo. This one, for example, has the same hairdo with this and this one. So this single prompt generated 4 images. I would advise you download all the 4 just in case you will need them later in your story. To download, you click on this part where you see this arrow, you click on download, and then you save it on your device. Now let's go to scene 2. Scene 2 says a realistic image of the inside of a simple mud brick Yoruba home with raffia mat and a clear water pot in the corner. At day 36, it repeated the same, features. At day 36, short hair and beard, sit on a wooden stool with his head bowed with Morenike 32 with cornrows, colorful attire, sits on the bed looking worried. Now, I'm going to copy this prompt, and what I will do is I will do a little modification. If I want them to still wear the same type of clothes they did in scene 1, I will need to readjust this particular prompt. Now, when we have a day 36, short hair and beard, sit, before I put sit, I will just say wearing a cream buba and shokoto. That's if you want it to repeat the same dressing or the same dress code they did in scene 1. So just go ahead and edit your second scene prompt to include those features. If you don't mind them putting on the same dress, what we are trying to maintain is the consistency in terms of the resemblance. That's the resemblance of the characters. They have to resemble to some extent. Now let's try this without putting the dress code as seen here. Now let me just copy this prompt and then I come to ChatGPT. Then I go to ImageFX and paste it on create. Now this is the result I got. The guy and the lady, they still look like what we generated earlier. If you look at the faces. Now let's go back to 1. You can see, and there's this kind of consistency in that look alike. So if you check the scene 2, they still look alike kind of. But let's say we want to modify this particular prompt to make them wear the same thing, the same hairdo. You come to where you have the features described. For Ade is 36, short hair and beard. So I can include, I'll just copy what I have here. Let me include this and let's see if it's going to give us exactly or something close to what we got in scene 1 in terms of the addressing. Wearing a cream buba shokoto, and paste it right here. So I want you to take note of something before we proceed. For your prompt, you have your characters. So the characters, what the character is putting on in terms of their dress code, the hairdo, whatever it is that they are putting on. Then the next thing you need to consider is the action. What is the expression? What is that character doing? If you take a look at scene 2, scene 1 says her face showing sadness, because the story says they couldn't bear a child for 8 years. Now, if you look at scene 2, sits on the bed worried. So it's the action that will be changing for each of the scene. We're going to be maintaining the same structure in terms of the age. Ade 36, short hair and bread. Whatever is the description of the character, make sure you include that in every of your scene. Then you can now change probably the background of the image and then the action. So that stays. That being said, I'm going to copy and paste my new prompt, and let's see if it's going to give us something similar to what we had in scene 1. Guys, can you see that? Can you see the consistency right here? The guy looks like the guy we had in scene 1. The lady also looks like the lady we had in scene 1. I will generate one more from that scene where the action are totally different. Scene 4 says a realistic image of Ade and Morenike walking on a forest path with tall green. Okay, now let's do this. A realistic image. And I will modify this. I'm going to modify this image by stating what they are putting on. So we can just give them a different dressing. We need to specify the age. ChatGPT did not include that in other scenes, so we need to do that. Ade 36, short hair, wearing an Ankara. We can now state a different dress code in this scene. It doesn't have to be the same dress, but what we are trying to achieve is that consistency in terms of the facial look. All right. So Ade, short hair and bread, wearing an Ankara attire, and then the lady will also copy the features, same features. A realistic image of an African man, Ade 36, short hair. We included for Ade, we included the age, 36, short hair and bread. It wasn't there. ChatGPT did not give us. You have to look at each of the prompts ChatGPT is giving you. You need to modify it accordingly, all right? Modify it so that you get the best result once you put in your prompt. Now, I have also added the features of Morenike here, and I only changed the attire. So we're going to copy this prompt now and paste it. All right, as you can see, we have the generations ready, and we need to just go through to see the one that fits most. This one looks like them, kind of consistent. Now, the second image tool I want to introduce to you is this, and here you get consistent characters, even more consistent than the one ImageFX will give you. All right, so to do so, just come over to this website. I'll put a link in the description box of this video, and come to this side where we have the AI image. Make sure it's on AI image. Then this side we have the image 3.0, that's the style. Then make sure that it's on 16:9. You can change it based on the aspect ratio of the video you want to create. And then we have standard 1K, and it is totally free to access this website as well. So what we're going to be doing is this. We're going to copy all the prompts we've used earlier. Right now, these are the images I got from the scene 1. As you can see, this is so beautiful. All of them, all the 4 images look alike. Now I'm going to put the prompt for the third scene. I'll generate that using this tool, but there's something I want to show you here. I have copied the prompt for the third scene, and I'll just paste it right here. Now, so that we get that kind of consistency we are looking for, this tool has a feature where you can reference the image you must have generated earlier. So what I will do is I'll pick the image where we have the plus sign here, click on it, and upload the image you have generated before. So I'll pick this one. This was what I generated for scene 1 in my own case. I'll just pick this one as a reference image so that it will copy the features that we have there and use it for this particular generation. I'm going to click on done. Can you see that this is the reference image right here? And then we'll make sure all these features are still there as we had it. And then we'll click on this arrow button. All right, so the image generation is complete, as you can see. Let's see, can you see this? Can you just see this? Let's take a look at the second one. Okay, this looks better. There's this mark on the lady's face saying that she is sad or crying, as you can see. Now let's go back to scene one. Can you see scene one? And this is scene three. Can you see that consistency? All right, so this tool also has some features right here. We have the generate video, edit on canvas, upscale. You can upscale your image to increase the quality. You can retouch, inpaint, remove, whatever you don't want to have on it. Now let's try the remove tool. Let me just take off this mark we have on this face. Let's see, it's going to give us a good one. You can increase or reduce the size of the brush right here, and then just click through where you have the mark, and then you click on this. Okay, so it's done with that, and we're going to see the results. And can you see that? Using the same process, go ahead and generate images for your other scenes. Finally, once your images are ready, import them into your video editor such as CapCut. Add your story narration, sound effects, and background music. And yes, you're done. Now let me tell you the bonus hack I promise you. If you really want to grow your African folktale channel fast, then you need to build a team. Even if just one or two more persons to help with writing, the image generation, or video editing, you'll be able to produce more stories faster and keep your quality high. I just reviewed to you what many of these creators are doing. Can I get a thank you in the comment section? If you want a detailed tutorial on how to create an African folktale channel from scratch, from generating story ideas to creating scenes to editing and uploading, click here to watch. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video.